Hi, I'm Emma, and I will be talking about how to work with data on your computer securely. The learning objectives for this RDM bite are to understand why you need to be careful with data on your computer, to know general tips for working securely with data on your computer, and to know some tips for working securely with data on your computer in an office or other open spaces and in a research team. Why do you need to be careful with data on your own computer? Your computer is never standalone. You are always linked to the internet at some point, so your data is at risk of being accessed if you do not keep it securely. This unauthorized data access could come from cyber attacks, including phishing or even accidental data breaches. Secondly, data often has restrictions placed upon its use by the data owners, your institution, or the research project you are working on. You must make sure you abide by these rules when using the data. This means you have to ensure your own computer is secure so that only you can access the data. When working with data on your computer, there are a number of things you need to do to keep it secure. First, always use a strong password to log into your computer. All devices and accounts that you use for accessing and using data must have a password which needs to be strong. Try to create a password that is 3 random words and don't use words that can be easily guessed. Save your password securely using your browser or a password manager app. Some types of data may require two-factor authentication or an even more secure system of access, such as a data safe haven. A data safe haven is a place used to store and work on sensitive research data for access exclusively by approved colleagues. You also need to install antivirus and malware protection. Your computer must have antivirus and malware protection software, and you must allow your computer to update this software regularly. This means that your computer will have the most up-to-date patches for any cyber attacks. It is important to remember to back up your data. Data that you keep on your computer needs to be backed up regularly, and in many cases, nightly. Backing up your data means creating a copy of the information and saving it on a different device or in cloud storage. If you do this regularly, this allows you to quickly recover any lost files. It is a good idea to encrypt data if you are going to back it up on an external storage device. Encryption is where the data is scrambled and requires a password to unscramble it. However, when backing up sensitive data, you need to be careful that you are following the information governance requirements when making these copies, as in some cases you are not allowed to keep copies outside of the server or environment you are working on. You also need to be wary of suspicious emails. Make sure that you have completed training in your institution on phishing so that you can spot suspicious emails. It is best not to open or click on any links in emails you are not sure about. You need to take care when working remotely. Many people work from home, so it is worth considering if the devices you are using there are as secure as the ones you use in your office. And finally, when you're finished with old IT equipment and records, it must be disposed of securely, which means contacting your IT department for ways to ensure this. Data management plans often specify what should be done with data after a project, but you should also think carefully about old computers and paperwork. If your data management plan calls for destruction of documents or electronic files after the project has been completed, all paper files or CDs with personal information should be shredded, and any electronic files on memory drives, PCs, laptops, and file servers should be permanently deleted. In general, research funders often have documented requirements for data retention timelines beyond the end of a project, which means all raw data should be kept for a certain period after study completion. If the research plan includes long-term retention of personal information in paper or electronic form, then all data files should be stored securely in a safe or locked file cabinet in a secure building. In addition to the tips on the last slide, when you are working in an open environment, such as an open office or other open spaces, there are a few other security measures to keep your data secure. Firstly, Make sure your Wi-Fi is secure. Using public Wi-Fi or another insecure connection could put your personal and other sensitive data at risk. You need to make sure that you always use a secure connection when accessing and working with your data, and your institutional IT department can help you with this. It's a good idea to not leave paperwork lying about and also computer screens unattended. Data is not just found on a computer, so data breaches can happen when you leave paperwork on your desk or your computer open when you step away from your desk. Make sure that you secure your personal and other data when it's not in use, and be vigilant with the people that are around your desk and overlooking your computer screen. It's a good idea to get into the habit of locking your screen when you move away from your desk or computer. You can also activate your automatic screen lockout so that you don't forget to do this. There are additional things to consider when working in a research team. Firstly, keep on top of who has access to what data using records, such as a spreadsheet. There may be specific requirements for who can access certain data in your project. Keep your records up to date and make sure that everyone has their own passwords. Make sure you know the different levels of access to documents and data, such as who has read-only access and who should have editing rights. It is also important to keep data security training up to date. Data security training is important when onboarding new team members and must be kept up to date to ensure continued access to data. When sharing data with your colleagues, it's important to use secure data transfer methods such as secure transfer protocols and encryption. Certain types of data need to be transferred securely, such as sensitive data, so please see our RDMbite on how to do this. You must ensure that you are following the procedure for transferring data agreed in your research project. Thanks for listening, and please see links to additional resources alongside this video.